How's Macy?
They brought her in for that biopsy a couple of hours ago. She knew that she needed that biopsy before we left for Rotterdam. Nothing was going to stop her from doing that concert, though.
Did she really understand there was a danger of throat cancer?
Well, of course she did, Mother. She risked her life. She endured a lot of pain, too, and she did it all for me.
It sounds as though Macy's fallen in love with you all over again.
I've never felt this way about anyone in my life, Mother. And even when Macy and I were married, I never had feelings like this. But I guess it's all a moot point now.
Why?
Today, when I left the hospital, it wasn't because I needed a break. Macy asked me to leave. She doesn't want me to come back.
I swept the rack clean. All the latest magazines.
Thanks, though. Have some water.
Of course, darling. Coming right up.
How's the throat, Mace? It's really sore.
Well, of course it is. I mean, it's only natural. Par for the course. You've just had a biopsy, darling. It's minor surgery. There you are.
I'm sure sorry I missed that concert in Rotterdam.
Oh, so am I. When's your next one?
Darla.
Oh, well, what I meant to... I didn't...
That's okay, darling. I guess I'm just gonna have to wait for the biopsy results.
I'm sorry,
No,
Mace.
don't apologize. I'm glad you guys are here.
No, where else would we be?
You know what, Thorne, darling? You look like you could use a cup of java. Why don't you go out and have one? And Macy looks like she could use some rest, too.
Hey, sweetie.
We'll be waiting in the waiting room outside.
Thanks for the magazines.
Well, now that the Q&A is over, maybe we can get some rest, huh, darling? Sweetheart? Is there anything I can do for you? Hmm?
Just hold me, Mom.
Of course. Don't be afraid. Everything is going to be all right. You'll see, I promise.
But I am afraid.
Oh, why? There's nothing to be afraid of. Don't you know that there's safety in numbers? You got all kinds of people surrounding you, taking care of you, with a lot of love around you. You never have to worry about being alone, darling. Not as long as I'm above the ground.
Why do I feel lonelier than I've ever felt before?
It's rare seeing lightning in a snowstorm. You don't see that every night, do you?
No, you don't. We weren't talking about the weather, Sheila. We were talking about Lauren.
No correction. You were talking about Lauren. I was telling you about my worst nightmare.
But Lauren was in it.
You know, there were a lot of people in it, James. Eric, Stephanie, Ridge, cast of thousands. Look, I really don't want to talk about it anymore.
Sheila, we were just getting started.
Well, then you're gonna have to ask another question. Because I am not going to talk about Lauren. No questions about Lauren Finmore. None.
All right, Sheila. You can relax. We'll move on.
Thank you.
You've told me about your worst nightmare. Tell me now about the happiest day in your life.
Well, that's an easy one. Without a doubt, the day I married Eric.
Your wedding day? Tell me about it.
Oh, it was like a dream come true.
Was it a small affair?
Very intimate. A few guests were invited. All of the Forresters were there, of course. But by the time the ceremony took place,
Go on.
well, things changed.
Changed?
The guests were gone by the time I got there.
Why?
Well, I was late, very late. Everyone was gone. Eric was the only one there.
You must have been very late.
Yes.
What happened, Sheila?
Let's just say I was held up.
Held up.
But it was beautiful. Oh, it was so beautiful. The ceremony was incredible. And the minister, he was just as good. It was without a doubt the best day of my life. No? Come on. Next subject.
No, you still haven't told me why you were late for your own wedding.
Hey, I think the most important thing is that I made it. And I'm glad. I'm very glad I did. Because it was the most moving...
Stop it. Stop avoiding the question. Tell me the reason why you were held up.
I was talking to someone.
Who?
Just someone.
Tell me who you were talking to.
It doesn't matter.
I know why you were late for your wedding. You were talking to Lorne Fenmore.
Darling, what do you mean you're feeling lonely?
I just feel so empty.
Oh, sweetheart, your life isn't empty. It's full. It's full of people who love you. I'm by your side, and I'm never going to leave you. And there's Saul, and there's Darla, and there's Anthony. And what about Thorne? Hmm? There's Thorne, you know.
Mother, Thorne is out of the picture.
What? What are you talking about, sweetheart?
I told him to go.
You told him to go, Macy. Why, darling?
To spare him from my cancer.
Oh, darling, stop that. Don't even think that. That tumor is benign, I'm absolutely sure of it.
And if you're wrong, Mother, the last thing I want is for Thorne to watch me waste away. Or worse, Mother. I'm not gonna sentence that man to a life with a woman who could be very, very ill. And there's a chance of that. I've talked to the doctors, Mother. Now, Thorne is young, and he should remarry, Mother. He should not have to settle for this. I gave him that concert, and I am not going to let anything spoil his memory of that bright, shining moment.
Stop it now. You stop this talk. I won't have it. There's only one thing I want you to think about right now, and that is getting well. Don't worry about Thorne. Don't worry about anybody else. You can deal with that later. Now you just deal with getting well. Do you understand? And I don't want you to spare one thought for your mother. Please. Because I'm going to be here. You're not going to get rid of me until you're well again. I'm not leaving until you get better. Okay?
Thanks, Mom. Thanks.
Sure.
I'm gonna need you now more than I ever have.
Macy.
Doctor.
I have the results of your biopsy.
It's cancer, isn't it?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
No. Oh, no, doctor. No, it can't.
It's all right, Mother. It's all right.
What? I mean, it's not all that serious, is it? I mean, there's something we can do. But what is the prognosis?
Well, it's hard to say. The tumor isn't particularly aggressive. Hopefully, we've caught it in time.
How will you treat it?
Surgery. We'll remove the tumor, and then a course of chemotherapy and radiation.
And I'd like to operate as soon as possible.
What are my odds?
Depends if we've caught it in time. I wish I could be more optimistic. We'll talk more later, Macy. I'm very sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Why would she ask you to leave?
Well, she is convinced that she is dying, Mother. She wants to spare me all of that grief.
Oh, my God.
She's not going to spare me a damn thing. It's not being able to be with her right now when she needs me most is causing me more pain than she can imagine.
Anthony Armando came to see me while the two of you were in Rotterdam.
Well, I'm sure he's trying to protect what's his, what he thinks is his.
Seems to me that he is in love with Macy.
Well, the feeling is far from mutual, Mother.
Are you sure?
Mother, I know what's going on inside of Macy, and it has nothing to do with Anthony Armando, trust me. Macy and I are in sync, and we have been ever since that Rotterdam concert. We became one up on that stage, Mother, and I am not going to give up on her. Just got caught in the middle of a stupid family conflict, and it is not going to happen again, trust me.
I have something to tell you.
What's that?
Her mother is at it again. Sally is paying the legal fees for Connor Davis to represent Dylan in the rape case. She has also managed to alienate Jessica from the rest of the family.
Well, I had no idea.
I'm sure you didn't. Just so you understand, the conflict between Sally and myself is not over. Not by a long shot.
Sweetheart.
I have a lot of thinking to do. I'd really like to be alone now.
All right, darling. Just remember when you're doing your thinking to think positively, to think about beating this, because that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get the best help, the best medical help, the best treatment. We're going to spare no expense. My sweetie, I really wish you wouldn't ask me to leave you now. I don't want to leave you now.
Just for a little while. Besides, the one person I really need right now is never coming back because I sent him away.
Take care. Macy? Honey? There's a man here to see you.
Send him in.
I said no more, Lauren.
All right. The worst thing, the most tragic moment in your life. Tell me about that.
What?
You heard me. Just answer the question.
All right, let me see here. Tragedy.
You don't have to think about it, Sheila. Something comes immediately to mind.
Catalina.
Catalina what? Catalina Island?
Yes.
What about it?
It was the honeymoon Eric and I never had.
Your honeymoon was tragic?
Yes.
Why?
A friend was there. And he died.
How did he die?
He had a fatal disease. I guess it was his last request to go to Catalina.
Did he go there alone?
No. Well, I mean, he...
Did he or didn't he go there alone?
Yes, he was alone.
You're lying.
All right, James, fine, okay. So he wasn't there alone. He would...
With? Who was he with? Who was he with, Sheila?
Lauren! Whenever anything tragic happens, Lauren is there, James. It was her fault. Whenever anything in my life goes wrong, it's Lauren's fault.
May I come in?
Hi, Anthony.
God, Macy. Sally just told me. I'm so sorry.
Lousy break, huh?
Hey, you're going to be all right.
I'm not so sure about that. Kind of running low on faith, you know. In fact, I'm running on empty.
That's okay. That's fine. Because I've got more faith in the two of us combined.
You know, I can't promise you anything.
Neither can I. Except my friendship and my support.
Thanks for coming by.
I'm glad I did. Although...
What?
Well, just when I came in, the look on your face. As if you were expecting someone else.
Well, I guess I was.
You were hoping I was Thorne.
Hoping and fearing at the same time.
I don't understand.
Anthony, Thorne won't be coming around here anymore.
Why? Why not?
This cancer is just something I need to go through without him.
Oh, Macy, no. You can't go through this alone. You're going to need all the help you can get.
Well, I have you, don't I?
Yes. You've got me. You sure do.
Now can you tell me about Lauren Fenmore?
Would you just stop pushing?
No, I have to do this. We're almost there, Sheila. It's Lauren, isn't it? Lauren Fenmore holds the key to everything. Now tell me about it.
Oh, would you just drop it?
What has she done to you?
She's done plenty. She's done plenty to me.
Then can you be more specific?
I don't want to be specific.
Oh, damn it. Why don't you open up? Please let me in. I'm trying to help.
Lauren is the evil in my life, James. She brings out the worst in me. She brings out the worst in everyone.
Listen, forget about everybody. I want to deal with you. How does she bring out the worst in you?
Oh, God, if you only knew.
Well, I intend to find out. We're not going to leave here until I find out,
Oh,
Sheila.
you want to bet? I'm leaving
going
right
nowhere.
now. You let go
You
of
walk
my
out
arm.
that
Don't
door
help
and
me.
I pick up that telephone and I call Eric. I tell him you've stopped your therapy. You'll go to an attorney and start divorce proceedings immediately, and you know that.
Oh, God. Why are you doing this
Because
to me?
I want to help you. Now tell me about Lauren Fenmore.
Oh, you want to know?
Yes.
You really want to know?
Yes, I want to know.
You
I
have
want to
no
know. Tell
idea.
me.
You have no idea. No inclination, no hint of what that woman has done to my life.
Then damn it, why don't you tell me? Tell me what I'm dealing with.
All
Tell
right,
me
all right, fine, I will tell you. Violence. We're talking about violence, Dr. Warwick. dark, bloody violence. We're talking about murder, James.